All right. Good afternoon, Paris. How are you today?
I am wonderful. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you so much for asking. It's been a pleasure to talk to you thus far. So, what I'd like to do now is talk to you a little bit about your experience. I understand that you were an executive administrator, admin, for 20 plus years. Before you moved here to the state of Florida. So, why don't you walk back a little bit and tell me about that position?
Okay. That would be with Columbus City Schools in Columbus, Ohio. I was the right hand for my director of ESL, of our ESL program. I worked with him for 3 years, and then he became the director of the whole school district in the
Okay.
ESL program. And I got another director, Mr. Vic Roy. We worked very closely together. I handled the pay cash. I handled the events. I handled student files, confidential files. I helped the nurse. I spoke with parents. I got students' schedules together, their class schedules, their bus routes. Um, I worked at our basketball games and our football games and petty cash. I handled all of that. I was the person on our Sam's Club card. I created purchase orders. I went shopping off the purchase orders, mostly Sam's Club, and the big one was Staples, which
Mhm.
was about a $90,000 budget a year, where I ordered supplies as needed for the beginning of the school year for all of my teachers. And whenever they needed something else, I would order supplies for them as well. The whole building, actually, everyone. I also had two administrators with my director in that same building. So there was a director and two administrators, principals in that building.
Okay, great. And so it was definitely an executive team that you were supporting for the school district. And
Absolutely.
then we talked a little bit about your leadership skills, and you said you didn't directly have anyone that reported to you. However, you had everyone, you were the go-to, if you
Yes.
will. Okay,
Yes.
tell me a little bit about that.
I handled everyone's time cards. I handled everyone's time sheets, their sick time, their comp time, their if they were 20 minutes late, I would adjust their time or not adjust their time based on whether they were going to stay an extra 15 minutes at the end of the day, or if my director said it was okay for them to stay later or to work their lunch. I also ordered all of the instructional assistance supplies. And for them, that was kind of major. I swapped classrooms when we had a teacher that was absent, which I would always ask one of our IAs to go kind of sit in the classroom
Mhm.
until we got a substitute teacher. I handled all the subs that came in the building, and I really did handle all the IAs. All my administrators would say, "Go ask Paris,"
Yeah.
you know.
And then Paris, I would imagine, but I don't know this for sure. I've never worked, in a school or in a school district. But like, were there office events? Were there special things maybe for the team that were there? Like you were hosting maybe for the teachers or the other admins, like lunches, birthday parties, any special events?
Absolutely. I am the one that prepared like all of the potlucks. We actually, because of the ESL is, they call it something else here, English as a second language. So all the students were new. I'm the one that put the prom together for the students. I'm the one who gathered the money for the tickets for the students. We had events where because we were a school, other schools that didn't have the field or the room to have events, I handled renting out that space. When the superintendent would come, I would do Jimmy John's ordering of lunches and, decorated everything really nicely. I am definitely an event person.
Okay. Have you ever put together any travel? I'm not sure if the teams there, did they ever have to travel anywhere? I know you mentioned expense
Absolutely.
reports. Okay.
Absolutely. Whenever there was a professional development, let's say Florida was a hot spot, I would get all of I would create the purchase orders for the rentals,
Mhm.
for their hotel stay, and for the actual PD, professional development.
Mhm.
Make sure their flights were okay. Through third party, I would handle all of that for each teacher that actually went on a professional development. Yes.
Okay, great. And then we talked a little bit about leadership. And so tell me, like, what is your leadership style? Like, how do you, help others grow? What is your like a daily approach with, if you were leading a team?
I am a very good listener. I am more of a listener than I am, I think, a talker. And when people come to me, I feel like the most important thing to do is listen. The only way you can a lot of times resolve issues is if you're listening to what someone is really saying. Um, so that's number one key, to be able to listen to what someone is saying. And if they need help with something, um, then I would just help them out with whatever they have going on. If they needed, a day off, or if it was something private, I do know about confidentiality and how all of that works because of the systems that I have been in, to be able to make sure that if someone does come to me with a personal issue, or even, well, we're going to say personal issue right now, that I keep it confidential, because that's what people like. People, I'm not a talker. I'm not a gossiper. I want to make friends, but I don't
Mhm.
want to be that person that is saying something and then going to say, "Hi, how are you?" after
Sure.
we just had a, conversation about that person. I definitely am not that person.
Sure, absolutely. Well, and it's interesting you mentioned that. I do think that definitely comes with maturity, with experience,
Absolutely.
maturity, and
Absolutely.
working in the type of industry that you worked in. Of course, when you work with students and personnel that are working with students, confidentiality is so important. So thank you for stating that, Paris. I'm going to go ahead and stop this part of the interview. Just get see if I have
Okay.
any questions. Yeah, I'm gonna stop this part, but don't go anywhere. We got a few more things to talk about.
Okay.